Law, 314-969-9797, or you can tweet Tony. How are you? Good to see you.
I'm great. I'm hot. Not in a good way.
Rachel
Now
does
your
not
mic
like
is on.
you.
No,
So, step right up, get right on it.
Right here?
We were just
That's
talking
it.
about Donald Trump and no more transgendered people, and so forth and so on. I've never asked any attorney this question. How has legalization of gay marriage changed what you do? Because now, of course, there are gay divorces.
It changed a lot once marriage became legal in Missouri. That added to what we could already do with regard to divorces, and now couples can ensure their rights on all sides instead of just living together and hoping that there's significant other or partnership provisions and insurance and whatnot.
Right.
It's the same in terms of getting rights, gaining rights, rights to your children, that kind of thing. The paperwork piece of having kids together has changed.
Yeah. Is there any practical difference when you're going into court and the couple getting divorced are gay or lesbian? Is there any because you know how it is. People go in there and crap on each other, and
Right.
he's terrible, she's terrible. Is it just the same?
It's the same. Sometimes what happens in same-sex divorces is that someone will try and pull a biology card on the children. I'm the biological parent as opposed to
interesting.
the adoptive parent, or they both adopted. But no, it's the same. It's the same.
Same stuff.
Right.
I would think that like the judges would have had to have a pretty good ramp up, because I think the judges would be more polite.
I think they are. I think right now we're cautious. You know, everybody's
Yeah.
polite, everybody's
Honeymoon
careful. It's not the same. You know, we've had, and the same goes with the transgender issues. If you were talking about President Trump, but with transgendered cases, I've had some real great successes with name changes and gender marker changes for the LGBT community, and there is everyone is cautious in some areas of the law because they're untested, both in Missouri and a lot of them are untested nationally.
Yeah.
But they're people. They're people who need what the court avails for them. So everyone, no matter what you're doing, no matter what life that you espouse, or whatever you need is what the court is there for.
Yeah. Did you do much with gay people before it was legal?
Yes.
Okay, so they were trying to accomplish through the law what everyone else has simply by getting married. What a cluster.
Well, it's a really great niche that I developed over the past several years, because we went in on things like partition lawsuits with real estate. You would go in on second parent adoptions. You use different avenues of the law in a really creative way when you didn't have the marriage statute.
Right.
So we used a lot of creative ways to get before the court and try and help same-sex couples that didn't have the dissolution statute to protect them.
Yeah. Is it way too early to have any sort of a feel for statistics on divorce within gay and lesbian marriages as opposed to?
I don't think it changes. I think it's
about the same.
It's
People
about
are
the same.
people.
Yeah, absolutely.
A few phone calls, 314-969-9797. Susan L. Ward is here. Kim, go right ahead.
Who brings the request for review? If he brings the request for review, his new children from the second family do not count in the calculation. If you bring the request for review, his new kids will count. If you're talking about a state review for child support, there won't be any discussion about the custody at all. If it's an administrative order that's going to be reviewed on the 2 or 3 year plan, there won't be a custody conversation. If it's an overall motion to modify that is in the circuit court, you may be talking about custody and overnights in relation to the child support.
That's interesting. So we're married, we're divorced, I'm paying you child support.
That's awesome.
It is. You bring a review. We would be
Good
so
luck.
good at being divorced. So you bring an action against me. I now have 3 kids with Rachel, and I can say, well, I can't pay you $1,000 a month because I now have 3 more mouths to feed.
That's
but
right.
if I bring it, I can't use it as an affirmative.
As a sword.
Yeah.
You can't use it as a sword because you knew you had obligations before you had second family.
Is that new or just one more thing
No.
I didn't know back when I was practicing?
I don't have any comment on
There's
that
so
one.
much.
I'll walk
so
away
much
from
I
that
missed.
one.
Wow.
No wonder that guy was so mad at me. Let's talk to Brian. Hey, Brian, go ahead. Thank you.
Well, the 50-50 is with regard to the kids, and it's a presumption. It's not an automatic in terms of time for each parent. It's a starting point for the court as to custody. But typically what will happen on the child support calculation, if there's disparate or uneven situations for your income and the mother's income, the maximum overnight credit you're going to get is not going to be 50% on the child support. You're only going to get something like 34 to 40% on a good day if you really out-earn the mom. Because of the disparity in income.
Yeah, that was always a big question. I don't want to pay that old. I'll just give the kids the money. She's spending it on fancy clothes. Mm-hmm. Sorry, dude.
Well, I pay child support, and I have my kids 50% of the time. So that's how the law works with regard to who earns what and who foots what expenses,
Yeah.
you know. So it depends who's footing insurance, and, you know, health insurance is not cheap. I have 4 kids. So things like that impact who pays or doesn't pay.
Yeah.
You have to be very, very equal in income in order to, on a 50-50, escape any child support. And there's still going to be orders for extracurriculars, single expenses like sports uniforms, winter coats.
Yeah.
One item.
Yeah, gotcha.
Mm-hmm.
How do people get in touch with you?
314-783-9400 or at stlfamilylaw.com.
Cool. Thanks. Appreciate it, Susan.
Good to see you.
Yeah, we could have done that for an hour.